How is it going? I know it has been some time. I just want to make sure that this video is having sound and all that stuff before we get started. All right. But yes, this is going to be a Bones and Charms reading for both Taurus and Gemini. So yes, I thought I was going to take a month off, but I ended up taking about 2 months. So now we are back with divine timing for the July readings for all the signs. So this is going to be a reading for both Taurus and Gemini. There'll be timestamps after the live is done. One for Taurus and one for Gemini for some people who just want one or the other. All right. And then I will go through the rest of the signs in the kind of normal order. But I did want to start with Taurus and Gemini, and happy belated birthday to all the sun sign Taurus and Geminis, since we are now officially in the Cancer season. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and light some incense and get started here. But again, I am happy to be back, and hopefully this lighter will work. There we go. And so I hope everyone's been having an okay time since the little break that I had for about a month or two. So anyway, I am happy to be back here. So we got some incense going. I wanted to talk about a little bit about the astrology for July. I'll also put that in the timestamps for some people who don't necessarily care about that, and then later they just want to skip to like the Taurus or the Gemini. All right. So we'll go ahead and just put this over here and get all the really nice sandalwood vibes going on. I don't know if you guys can see it that way, but either way, it's there. All right. So yes, let's talk about the astrology notes here real quickly. I'm just gonna have some background noise here. That's a little too loud. So if you see me, touching my phone from time to time, it's just turning the music either up or down. Okay. But I am giving my full attention to you guys. All right. So let's start with July 1st. Okay, is the first astrology note here. So we have Jupiter is going to be semi-square Chiron, all right? And so Jupiter is travel, education, religion, law, right? Just to name a few kind of Jupiter themes. And when we have it semi-square Chiron, Chiron is the wounded healer that represents all types of healing, spiritual, mental, physical, all of the above, right? So when we have squares, sometimes it can be a little bit more of a harsher energy. It's a semi-square, so there's still some harsh aspects, but it could just be putting more of a focus on, for some people, to have some healing or some growth, or reopening a wound so it can properly heal, or just letting it heal in general around possibly some Jupiter themes like travel, education, religion, law, politics. Okay. Again, these are general astrology notes for everybody for the month of July. And then we have kind of, two bigger, we've got two retrogrades going on in July, and we'll talk about that. We have Athena Palace later, we'll talk about is going direct, but the first one is on July 2nd. So Neptune is going to be retrograding. All right, so Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, right? And so when Neptune is going retrograde, it's essentially going backwards. The planet is perceived that it's going backwards, but that's how we're feeling the effects here on planet Earth, right? So it can talk about some either illusions or confusion being dissolved now once Neptune is going into retrograde. So if Neptune was going in its regular forward motion, could be more confusion or more illusions on the more lower vibrational frequency of Neptune. But now that it's going to be going into retrograde on July 2nd, it could be that now we're seeing things more clearly. There's less confusion. It also talks about Neptune, the higher vibrational side of Neptune would be like creativity, psychic development, all that kind of stuff. But during this Neptune retrograde, it could be that some people, or the energy in general, could be like no more daydreams, right? So facing reality, no more fantasy. Okay, so that can be one of the things that's coming through here during that Neptune retrograde. Okay, now also on the same day, on July 2nd, we have Mercury enters into fire sign Leo. So Mercury rules communication, electronics, but yeah, it's basically how we communicate with ourselves and others. So when Mercury enters into Leo, fire sign Leo, we can be more passionate, we can be more fiery, we can be wanting to take the spotlight, or it feels like our communication with ourselves and others is really like stepping to the forefront and taking that spotlight. Okay. So again, we're not going over every single thing, but I try to hit the keynotes, right? Because we're eventually going to get to our bones and charms reading. Okay. So then moving forward on July 5th here, we have Uranus is going to be semi-square the North Node, which will be in Aries, I believe, at that time. Okay, so Uranus energy, the ruler of Aquarius, right? It's going to be about innovation, technology, rebellion, re-evolution, revolution, right? Humanitarian efforts, all these kind of Uranus kind of themes, right? And again, when we have a semi-square, it can have some friction to it, or harsher energy. But our North Node in astrology talks about what we are doing here on planet Earth, in terms of, it can be for some people our goal and our mission. If that's separate from our career, then it can also include our career, right? Because we don't always necessarily get to be doing exactly what we want to, right? Or we have to do something to pay the bills, and then we have our side hustle or our hobbies, etc., right? South Node is more karmic past lives and lessons. Okay, but North Node, think of it this way: North Node is like future, current, and South Node is past. Okay, so when Uranus is going to be semi-square the North Node in Aries on July 5th, there can be a lot of fiery energy around those themes as well. Okay, so more Aries being the first sign of the zodiac, more entrepreneurship energy, or just passionate energy in general around inventions, rebellion, rebellious energy, technology, evolution, revolutions. Can't even talk about politics stuff, but we'll just leave that aside and say, oh, we talked about it, but we're not talking about it. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of what we have there. Now, also on the same day, on July 5th, we have the new moon in Cancer. Okay, so new moons are really great times to plant seeds if we feel guided to do that. Of course, you can plant seeds, metaphors, prayers, intentions at any time, right? Whenever it feels special and the right time for you is when you should do it, and always trust your intuition. But some people in particular during the new moons like to set their intentions, so then as the new moon is growing to eventually be the full moon, then you can, essentially see that energy and those intentions and those prayers kind of raise in energy. Okay, but again, do it whenever you feel called. But yeah, so we have that new moon in Cancer on July 5th. And then moving forward on July 9th, we have Jupiter is sextiling the North Node, okay, which is still in Aries, I believe, at this time. So Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It's going to expand everything it touches, right? Always kind of be aware of what we're speaking, what energy we're interacting with, kind of all of those things. But on July 9th, when Jupiter sextiles the North Node in Aries, it could be that travel, education, religion, law, politics has more passion around it, has more of this entrepreneurship, excuse me, type of energy, a go-getter type of energy of wanting to do stuff, not necessarily like by ourselves all the way, but just not waiting, right? Having again this like go-getter energy, like I'm gonna start it now, I'm gonna do this project now. Okay, so I don't necessarily see this as a bad aspect in any way. Now, also on the same day, so far we've had July 2nd, July 5th, and July 9th all having two different astrology notes happen on the same day. So you could say like the first week of July or so can be like, a lot going on, good and bad, right? It's always a mixture. But we have Athena Pallas, okay, which is an asteroid. Sometimes they don't say the Athena part, they just say Pallas. So Athena Pallas is going direct on July 9th, okay? So if we think of Athena in Greek mythology, right, she's known for wisdom, justice, war, but she's also represents intuition and talents in the arts. So if we're feeling like we need more creative assistance during this time, with Athena Palace going direct, she could definitely bring those aspects out more for yourself and for others. Just turning the music up there, up and down, because there's commercials there. But yeah, I really feel like Athena Palace, when it is going direct here, this is going to be some really nice energy. Now, 2 days later after that, on July 11th, we have Venus entering into Leo. Okay, so Venus, the planet of love, right? Beauty, also balance, justice themes, okay, is going to be entering into Leo. So we're going to not get into Leo season until July 22nd, later in the month. But we've already been kind of talking about a lot of this fiery energy coming through, even though technically during this first half of July, we're still in Cancer season, right? So water sign Cancer season, excuse me. So super itchy sometimes with all the incense and allergies. But yeah, with Venus going into Leo, then it's going to be followed by, on July 13th, we have the first quarter moon. Since we talk about the planets and the asteroids, we also, of course, talk about the moon. Okay. And then we have Jupiter's doing a lot of stuff, right, throughout July so far. We've got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 different things happening so far with Jupiter in July. But in this aspect, on July 18th, Jupiter is quintiling Neptune. Okay, so when we talk about quintiles, it is when Jupiter and Neptune will be 72 degrees apart, and it almost looks like a star, like inside a circle, if that makes sense. Okay, but Jupiter, again, a planet of expansion, is gonna expand everything that it touches, right? So when it touches on Neptune themes, the high vibrational Neptune themes, it's talking about psychic stuff, okay? Psychic development. It's talking about creative energies. It's talking about imagination. And when this comes together with Jupiter, when it's quintiling Jupiter, it's like there's ambition and more opportunities, and even kind of this like genius kind of energy, okay, that everybody can tap into, whether you're creative or not, or consider yourself creative or not, right? So I really like that, and that's a good note to write down if that's something that you're, looking forward to here. Then we have, on July 20th, Mars is going to be entering into Gemini. Okay, so Mars, higher vibrational energy, Mars, the ruler of Aries, is about entrepreneurship, go getter, fresh start energy, right? Lower vibrational frequency of Mars will be the god of war, so anger, frustrations, and fighting. But when Mars, fire sign energy, is going to be entering into Gemini, more of air sign energy, it is bringing like the communication style of Gemini, of Mercury being the ruler of Gemini behind it, right? But it's like bringing this kind of fiery energy in with the air energy, okay? So again, you can either make it high vibe or you can make it low vibe, or it can go back and forth. And it's not necessarily just about you. We make our own choices, but it could also be the energy, collective energy kind of going on or in your environment, okay? So just kind of something to be aware of. But I feel like with this Mars and Gemini coming through too on this July 20th date here, there could just be more passionate communication during this time, okay, or really fast moving communication at this time, okay. There could be talks about the low vibrational frequency of Mars, so fighting, anger, frustration, war, right? But we're going to try to focus on the high vibe stuff if we can, okay? Now on the following day, we're finally getting to about the middle, or a little bit past the middle of the month here. On July 21st, we do have that full moon in Capricorn, okay? So we had the full moon in Sagittarius last month. Was it June 22nd? No, that was May. Sorry, just kidding. May was the Sagittarius full moon. Okay, so then June, I think, was Aquarius, and now the full moon in Capricorn in July. Okay, I missed 2 months, so I'm trying to remember. Might not be exact there. But yeah, basically, when we talk about full moon energy, if you've seen me before, then you kind of will already know some of these references, or if you've seen other people too. Like, right, I'm always a co-creator. Other people have said things even maybe better than me, or for sure, definitely better than me sometimes. We're all work in progress, right? But full moon energy is that culmination energy. It can be intense, whether it's good or bad energies going through. Everything feels more intense or heightened, good or bad, right? So if you speak to police officers, people who work in hospitals, they always say a lot of stuff goes down on the full moon, just more activity in general. So you're going to feel the full moon energy usually a day before, the day of the full moon, and the day after is when it's the strongest, okay? But with this full moon in Capricorn, earth sign energy, we could be striving for more grounded energy, for not giving up on our goals and our dreams. We were talking about all that high vibrational stuff going on with Athena Palace and with Neptune, trying to bring in this more creative energy, this more imaginative ambition, opportunities kind of energy. And then when you also put that back with, where was the other thing that we were talking about? Oh yes, the Uranus energy also, semi-square the North Node. So again, lots of kind of things maybe culminating at this time, but yeah, just be gentle with yourself and gentle with others. Like I said, if it feels more intense, every full moon can feel like that. Depending on where you have Capricorn in your chart, you may feel it a little bit more, okay? But yeah, again, we're just kind of going over the notes here real quickly. We only have about 3 or 4 left, and then we'll be starting the reading here. So thank you guys for your patience, or if you're watching this later and you skip to the timestamp, that's okay too. But yeah, after this full moon in Capricorn, then on July 22nd, we have official start of Leo season. So the sun moves into Leo. All right. And then on July 25th, we have Mercury now entering into Earth sign Virgo. Okay. And so Mercury is the ruler of Virgo. So it feels like a very natural way for our communication styles during this time, to feel more grounded, to go a little bit more slower, to be more organized in the way that we communicate with ourselves and others during this time. Now let's see. Oh yes, here we have our second retrograde that we were talking about during this month. Okay, we have Chiron is going to be retrograde starting July 26th. Okay, so Chiron is the wounded healer. It's the planet associated, or the constellation, sorry, kind of associated with healing of all types, mind, body, spirit, connection, okay? So when we have it going retrograde, that it's going in that backwards motion, it can be for some people, or some of the energy, if we're not talking about particular people. It could be harder to heal certain aspects, but when it does that, it kind of can bring things to the forefront, okay? So it's kind of talking about when Chiron is retrograde, to kind of confront any traumas, confront any past hurts or pain or things that need to be healed, and really kind of be open and welcome in this kind of wisdom and this time for self-reflection, okay, when Chiron is going to be in retrograde. All right, and then the last aspect here is on July 27th, we have the last quarter moon. All right, so I'm going to look at the time here just to note for myself when we are done with these timestamps. If I can see, and I can't see it right now, that's okay. I will do it later. I had to change stuff around on my computer. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get finally into this Taurus reading. All right, so I will be shaking the bones and the charms here. That's the way that I shuffle, okay? And sometimes I usually have my eyes kind of semi-closed or all the way closed, and we kind of cast them or throw them out. And then this mat, I usually don't use mats all the time, but people like it for a visual. So there's different quadrants that mean different things, and we'll kind of go over that. Once I have casted all the bones and charms, I will take the camera down and kind of rest it over here. I'll hold it with the other hand so you can see more clearly, because some of the things are very small, okay? But yeah, before we do that, let's do a quick little sound bell here to kind of get into the energy of the reading, and just kind of take a few moments to take some breath if we need to. All right, so this is going to be the messages for Earth sign Taurus for July, right? All right. All right, guys. Hopefully that wasn't too loud for you. I usually say if you're sensitive to sound, just turn it down a little bit. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what we have coming up here for you, Taurus, for July. All right. If it's a little loud while I shake it, just bear with me. I have to do it. It makes noise, right? All right. So spirits, guide my hands, please. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign Taurus for July, for their highest good and for their highest vibration. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign Taurus for July. Messages for Taurus for July. Just take that out for a second there. All right, let's do a little bit more shuffling. Okay. Spirit, guide my hands. Spirit, guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign Taurus for July 2024. Messages for Taurus. Messages for Taurus. Messages for Taurus. Spirits, guide my hands. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign Taurus, the bull, for July 2024. Messages for Taurus. Spirits, guide my hands. Spirits, guide my hands. Spirits, guide my hands. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Taurus for July 2024. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for their highest good? Messages for Taurus. Messages for Taurus. Messages for Taurus for July 2024. This is for Taurus. This is for Taurus. Okay. So we've got all the bones and charms out. I think I might have forgotten my pen, but that is okay. I usually use it to kind of point to things and flip over the more fragile pieces if they're kind of close together. But I'll just make do without for now. They're kind of separate anyway, so maybe we didn't need the pen right now. But yeah, again, I'm just gonna very carefully flip over the ones that I can without disturbing anything. Okay, well, that too. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and take a picture. I do like to post the picture on Facebook, on my Facebook page, underneath the reading. So I will be doing that later. So it just sometimes gives people a more close-up, in-depth look that they can check later without having to rewatch the video if you want. But now I'm going to go ahead, guys, and take the camera down and bring it closer, so you can kind of see the bones and charms more clearly. Okay, so let's see here. Oops, nope, go that way. All right. So let's see, the best position is gonna be like, I think like this. That's pretty good. All right, and when we're on certain stuff, I'll get even closer, but just for now, so you can kind of see the different quadrants here, okay? So when stuff falls outside of the quadrants, you just imagine that line that's going down and horizontal still going, okay? So that would be in this quadrant, this is in that one, or halfway in between. This one's halfway in between as well, okay? And these aren't charms over there, that's just incense and my crystal, right? But yeah, let's go ahead and see here also, Taurus, where they want me to start your reading. Okay, so I'm just gonna hover my hand over everything real quickly and find the hottest spot and go towards that. That's what how Spirit shows me where they want me to start the reading. All right, so bear with me for a moment. Spirits, where would you like me to start this reading? Okay, they want it like right there, and that's kind of where I was feeling it too, when I was shuffling or shaking your bones and charms, as they say. So it really feels like concentrated right here. It can be kind of between the two different quadrants here. This is the body and mental quadrant. This is relationships and love, all types of relationships and love, romantic, platonic, etc. But let's get closer here. This is really where a lot of the energy was drawing me, was like right here. So I'm just going to flip this over a little bit so you can see it, and then I'll flip it back, okay? But this is one of the or I'll just show it to you, right? This is one of the skulls, okay? So when we see a skull in a reading, this can be telling us where someone's mind is at. It could be you yourself or someone else you're dealing with, or just, you know, the energy in general. But I do have two different skulls within this kit. The other one's over there. We'll talk about it a little later. But yeah, I just kind of turned it back to the way that it was. Okay, but I see here, Taurus, just in general, right, there's like a lot of focus on different themes within the body and mental health and within relationships and love throughout the month of July, okay? It also looks like here, Taurus, that this skull is facing this shell here, okay? So this shell is talking about feminine energy, and underneath the skull, if you saw when I lifted it up, we do have one of the puzzle pieces. So it's like you or someone else here, Taurus, throughout the month could be really trying to figure out how to put the pieces together between body and mental health and relationships and love, and how that may relate to feminine energy, right? We all have masculine and feminine inside of us. And I feel like you're also figuring out, or, you know, some of you guys have already done this, or you're in the process of continuing to do this, but figuring out how this feminine energy can then be manifested to your abundance. Okay, so here we have the buckeye, okay, again on the line, so it goes from your head to the shell to the buckeye, and we had the puzzle piece underneath the head. So it's like this can represent money, right? But not just money, it can represent abundance in your life. And because it's both on the line here between body and mental health, right? And then relationships and love, romantic, platonic, friends, family, etc. So it's like, how do I or someone else, or the energy, like manifest this kind of feminine, divine feminine energy to bring more of this abundance, you know, into my life. Okay, now I'm just going to move this a little bit and see what else is going this way, since we're kind of going straight back on the line a little bit here. So over here, Taurus, we've got a honeybee, and we also have the crown, okay, right on the line. And the honeybee is also touching the key here, okay. I don't want to get too close because sometimes then it won't focus, but hopefully you can see. So with this crown and this honeybee, it's talking about personal power and confidence and or some type of leadership role within yourself or with others, okay, that is like supporting or will be supporting all of this abundance. Now there could also be some kind of teacher here. Sorry, let me turn that down. Sorry guys, it's just commercial. There could also be some type of teacher here. It's either you or someone else, or the energy has a very teachable kind of energy, a mentor, a spirit guide, a guardian angel, whatever you want to call it, that is also wanting to support all of this abundance, okay? Now I feel like here, Taurus, there is some kind of answers, okay, that are going to come through here for you during the month of July, if it hasn't already happened, about something to do with confidence or taking on more roles or leadership qualities with the crown, or position of authority, but also about our innate, personal power with the honeybee here, okay. I do feel like as well here, Taurus, just moving this back to where it was, you also have a lot of ancestor energy here, okay, guardian angels, people who've passed on with the coffin here, okay, people beyond the veil that want to support this, and it is also kind of still on that dotted line from where we started, going straight back, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just, go more on the relationship quadrant side, since the head is also touching this other stuff here. So we'll probably like circle around here and then, go that way, but it's not planned. I go where the energy leads and where they're kind of telling me to go. All right. But over here on this side, Taurus, and hopefully if I stay still, there we go, focus again. We do have the angel coin here, okay? And what's really beautiful that's sitting on top of it is we have the feather. And then over here on this side, we also have the broom, okay? So you got two charms that represent clearing, okay? And then under the broom here, it's really hard to see, but there is a hummingbird, okay? I don't want to move it because then it might not sit exactly where it is, okay? But if we pull back a little bit here, Taurus, you can see that in the relationships and love quadrant here, there's a little symbol of a heart, right, that's on the mat. And so this angel coin and all this clearing energy and the hummingbird all kind of seem to be going on that left side of the heart, okay? We think of humans, right? Our heart, I believe, is on the left side. I could be wrong. I don't remember, but I want to go with that now because I think that's right. But it's, or it could, no, wait. It's on the left. Okay, I have a tattoo on my chest and I know I put it on the left side because that's where your heart is. I had to double check. Okay, so funny. All right, but here we see towards all this clearing energy, okay? It could be something about the heart chakra since we're talking about relationships and love here. But I feel like this is something that you or someone else has really been thinking about for a while because, again, it is touching that first skull, right? The angel coin. So this can be literal angels, guardian angels, ancestors, whatever, it represents for you. But whatever it is, it's higher vibrational and it feels very positive, right? This clearing that's going on possibly within the heart chakra. When we talk about the hummingbird that's under the broom here, it's like about, the hummingbird for me is a symbol about embracing who you really are and not necessarily caring what other people think. So let me just go ahead and try to move it. There you go. There's the hummingbird, okay? So it's like I say in evolution with the regular birds, they see the hummingbird flying backwards because the hummingbird flies backwards and they're probably like, what is that bird doing? Is he feeling okay? What's wrong with him or her, right? But that's actually, they're the fastest bird. So it's like not caring about what other people may say. Something to do with this relationship or love energy or healing the heart chakra energy, because knowing that your guides have your back here, again with the angel coin, is really beautiful. And if we pull back even more here, Taurus, there's something really good happening for you overall for the month of July, because in the center of your reading, okay, the broom is touching it. It was right on top of it. You've got the yes coin. Okay, so it's like yes to every quadrant, something here. So yes to something spiritual and unconscious quadrant, yes to work and money quadrant, yes to body and mental health quadrant, yes to relationships and love quadrant. And then over here, okay, we had, I'm just putting it back, this, there we go, is the alligator claw. So the alligator claw was kind of more focused on the body and mental health, and then kind of wanting to grab or to touch the lucky rabbit's foot here, the green lucky rabbit's foot. So in particular here, Taurus, you could have a lot more, sorry, I just turned the music up because it gets so quiet, a lot more luck in this quadrant as well. It's spilling a little bit over into the spiritual unconscious quadrant as well, but really focus more on the mental health. But whatever this yes is here, that's going to show up in these different areas of your life, Taurus, it's going to be different for everybody. It just feels really abundant though, and really beautiful, okay? Because it's not often that you get some kind of yes in every quadrant or even at all, right? But now let's go kind of back up this way before we talk about this other stuff. I'm like, yes, one quadrant at a time. I just wanted to show you though the ones that were all kind of having that yes energy in the middle, okay? So when we go this way, Taurus, I can see that we have the bat here sitting on top of the lizard, okay? We've got underneath the bat and the lizard, we've got a leaf, and then on top of the leaf, we have a seashell. On the other side, we've got the horse. Yeah, it is the seahorse. Let me flip it here. Oh, gentle like. Oh, see, this is why I need my pen. I don't want to mess stuff up. Okay, there's the seahorse, right? So there could be something going on here, Taurus, within all the different types of relationships with you, different types of love, where there's, again, a lot of clearing going on, because this is also still kind of sitting on that heart on the mat here. And so it's like clearing energy, okay, all the clearing we're doing in the heart chakra. It could have something to do with the fall season in this year. This part of this reading could be bigger than the month of July, right? And what is time? It's fluid and changes and depends on everybody, since it's a general reading. But the metaphor of the leaf can also be, if it's not talking about fall season where you live, it could also just talk about another aspect of clearing. So when those leaves fall off of the tree, then we have later, when we get to spring, new leaves come in. So it's like letting go perhaps of something here, that is no longer needed or in residence. This letting go, or this aspect of fall here, could have something to do with a letter message document here, Taurus, but that's my charm symbol for that. Okay, it's an envelope, it's just upside down a little bit, but this letter message document that comes in either from you or you giving it out to someone else, or in the energy in general, it has a lot of beautiful healing aspects to it, with it touching the lizard. So this like regenerational growth, that's not what I meant to say, but it came out. So okay, it could also be Well, yeah, with the seahorse here, that's my symbol for family. That could definitely be true, but they're not necessarily touching, so I wasn't going to talk about that yet, but it came out. If it's not regenerational growth, right, in relationships and love and how we respond or receive and give out, it could also be, what's the way to say it? Something having this deep healing with the lizard medicine magic, right? But if you cut off the tail of some lizards, it grows back. So it's, yeah, it's, I don't know why I can't, I'm struggling to find the right words. It's like, yeah, I guess just regrowth. Maybe I already said it. And when we see this too with the bat on top of the lizard here, it's like the bat wings on one side are literally covering the lizard's tail. So bats are really good at vibrations, right? So they're blind, and that's they use echolocation to communicate with each other. And because it's also touching the bat charm, the letter, message, document charm, it could be that this message that comes through or comes out of you, if it's to you or someone else, could have something, possibly to do with family, with the seahorse over here being a little bit closer. But it could also be past life family. It could be not just your blood family. It could be your soul tribe family. Right? What is family? Okay, but whatever is going on here, there's a lot of clearing energy, a lot of letting go of things that no longer serve. Trying to put the pieces of the puzzle, so to speak, together here, and maybe rely on this divine feminine energy, and something that you've been longing for, or someone else has been longing for a long time. I do see also too that there is a lot of safety energy here with the safety pin that kind of landed on the relationships word. Okay, there's safety in having questions or being open to questioning something here as well, Taurus. So I see. I'm just gonna flip this over, this questioning, okay, around or being open to questioning something, is going to bring in new ideas, because literally we have the lightning bolt here was touching the question mark. We have a symbol for Capricorn over here, so it could be something to do with a Capricorn, someone who's got a lot of Capricorn in their chart, Capricorn season, or it's got nothing to do with the zodiac, and we're just talking about what Capricorn energy can represent. So it's an earth energy. It moves slower, but they never give up on their goals. The goat is always climbing the mountain and finding flexibility in the mountain here. So there's like something to do with having the safety around questioning relationships or questioning love in some way, whether it's romantic or platonic, and then being open to that is bringing in these new ideas and moving forward with some type of goal here. Okay, now when we talk about this Capricorn energy, it's really interesting here, because right next to it here, Taurus, we have, and you're also earth sign Taurus, right? Or depending on where you have Taurus in your chart, because everyone is welcome to watch this reading, not just sun sign Tauruses. But underneath the money bag symbol, we have the symbol for Saturn. Okay, so it's interesting, right, when the money bags doesn't necessarily fall in the work or money quadrant, but it's over here in the relationships quadrant. So it's really saying here, Taurus, that it's like putting the effort or the value, right, because money is also value in our time, and that's how we make money, right? Valuing our time, putting in some type of work or effort here, leaning into these Saturn energies. Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn as well. So it's like getting more organized, more serious, putting in value or effort into these new ideas here around relationships and love. There's also a lot of good luck blessing this, okay, because over here we see the horseshoe, and the ladybug inside. So double luck. Okay, there's also a lot of balance that wants to come through here as well, Taurus. Now, if we pull back a little bit here on the side, we don't want to lose this. Okay, this is the snake vertebrae. Okay, so it's a little bit, falling outside of the map, but not really. It's not on the white part at all. This can be stuff more in past energy. Okay, but the snake vertebrae can represent either restriction or needing to breathe. If we think about our vertebrae, oh wait, it's not the snake vertebrae. I always do that. It's not the vertebrae, it's the rib bone. So sorry. Oh, it took me a second there. This is the snake rib bone. So when we think about the ribs, we're talking about breathing or constriction with breath, okay? So this could be more of a past energy here, Taurus. Maybe somebody or some energy here needing to breathe more to our relationship to love and relationships in general, okay? But I feel like that's more of like a past energy. So then when we go back up this way around those new ideas coming in and being open to having some type of questions about relationships and love and having the new ideas come in, it's a slower energy with the turtle here, but it's like, how can emotions with the cup, some deep emotions that maybe somebody was searching for or digging for with, this is the coyote claw, okay? There could have been something about travel and emotions here. It doesn't have to be, okay? But you've got two symbols for water on one side. So you've got the cup on one side, and on the other side, if I flip it and move this little dragonfly first, we've got the ship here, okay? So kind of two symbols that have can have something to do with water, okay? So it could be some slower emotions around healing with water or around water, or something to do with travel. It doesn't have to be, right, just physical travel. It could be astral travel with relationships and love and ourselves, when we're in the dream world or the 5D world. But whatever this energy is with the ship here, right, there's a little dragonfly on top. So it's like blessings of dreams of travel, or healing with water, or healing with the emotions, right, in our relationships, whether romantic or platonic, friends, family, etc. So I like that, and I feel that that's something that we should all strive to do, right? Because again, there's it's like, this is, I look at it this way too, Taurus. It's like this over here is the sterner energy, getting organized, placing value, never giving up on something, asking questions, being safe to do those things. And then on the other side, it's like the slow down energy, but it gets a little bit easier here, and it feels like the emotions are being processed in some way around what maybe your ideal relationship is, or your ideal love language is, etc. Okay, so I really like that. But let's go ahead now, and I thought I was going to go this way more, but feeling more called to go down this way. Okay, so we're going to move now to, hopefully when I stand still it'll focus again. We're going to move down to the work and money quadrant here, Taurus. Okay, so maybe if I pull back in, oh, there we go, it's kind of getting focused there. All right, so remember again, you had that big yes in the center here, touching all the quadrants on top of it with the alligator claw, reaching and striving, and some kind of yes. If you had a question about work or money or all these different quadrants, there could be some type of yes for some of you guys, some type of green light, right? But if we go, from this over here to there, right, we were in relationships and love. It could be to finish out on relationships and love, and then move into work and money, that there was something here, Taurus, that maybe perhaps you were not seeing, or someone else wasn't seeing, because this is known as the cat's eye, and kind of leaning on the cat's eye and going towards the center is the symbol for Sagittarius, the bow and arrow. So maybe there was something here, Taurus, that you or someone else, or the energy in general, about either Sagittarius or during Sagittarius season, or if it's not about those two things, it could be just the general Sagittarius themes. Okay, so pulling back the arrow and following our goals and dreams with something that maybe we're not seeing clearly here. But I feel like continuing all this clearing energy, if you go from the leaf to the broom that you had in relationships and love, and then on the other side here underneath the bow and arrow, you've got the scissors. So it's like cutting out something here in regard to your goals and your dreams here, Taurus, and how they relate to your work and your money, could be beneficial, or maybe not all the way cutting out, but altering something here, right? Changing the shape of it, cutting something a little bit away, or just, yeah, changing the way something looks in regards to your goals and dreams and with work and money. I feel like this is something here, Taurus, that you could have been working on for some time, okay, with this other animal claw here. This could have something to do also with some type of masculine energy here, with that coyote penis on one side and um, the the elephant, okay? So some type of masculine energy. It could be a memory of some type of masculine energy, memory around masculine memories of our ideas of what money and value is to us, okay? So it's gonna be different for everybody, but it's like elephants represent memory, right? You've got masculine energy striving for some type of memory about money, because it's literally on the money symbol here, okay? Now this could have some focus here. It makes sense. We would see the chair here, if you can see it on its side. Taurus, so the chair is a symbol for home, okay, for wherever we live, right? And so it's like, figuring out again, like this time there's more of like a feminine energy on the other side. So you have masculine here with the coyote penis, and over here with the feminine symbol around home, something to do with the home. It's like you or someone else, with the energy in general here, really wants to bring in some type of peaceful energy, because what we have underneath the feminine energy is the symbol, the doves. Okay, so I'm just gonna flip them over there and move them back to kind of where it was, so you can see. So yeah, it's like how to bring in this peaceful energy in the home around ideas and themes about work and money and how it relates to home. Like, how can we be a go-getter and strive for our dreams, but then also not get all the way too masculine, right? But still have some feminine energy, since we all have masculine and feminine inside of us. But it's like masculine energy here, Taurus, and then with this raccoon penis bone here, again, more masculine energy, and a little bit of feminine kind of in between. So maybe finding the balance there. There could be something that you're really wishing for here, Taurus, with the wish symbol touching the raccoon penis bone. So wishing to manifest something in the 3D physical world, a more aggressive type of energy around work and money. I also see here, Taurus, that your guides, spirit guides, guardian angels, ancestors, with the listening bells here, perhaps they are listening to the challenges that you've been having, okay, with the mountain symbol here. So or somebody needs to listen, or you need to listen, something about listening here about the challenges in the work or the money. Now, when we started off here talking about old memories of masculine ideas related to money, you also have the baby over here, right next to the beginning of the work word on the mat. So this can be something to do with work and children for some of you guys. If it's not actual children, whether they're yours or someone else's, it could also be, if it's not that, inner child work, okay? and how that relates to money, or how we manifest things, or how we value ourselves and others here. Okay. I do see that also throughout the month here, in July, Taurus, there could be a lot of things changing around money. Like the wheel here, it represents time, and something may be changing. I do see also as well, Taurus, to maybe the need to go more with the flow here, with this other seashell here and the mermaid. So bringing in more water energy, since you're, or depending on where you have Taurus in your chart, you're more earth energy. So maybe not as much fixed energy and slow moving energy, but just trying to go with the flow here. Maybe it's saying buy your time, something about time here with the money, and connected to that wish as well. Okay. And it just got really quiet again, so I'm just gonna turn up the music a little bit, a little background music. But I think maybe you guys can hear the birds. It sounds really nice. So it's not too quiet. We got the birds singing. But yeah, let's pull out here, and now let's go back to, or not back to, but let's go over to the body and mental, because that's where I was going to go earlier, but then I was called this way. So we'll go here, and then we'll end with the spiritual and unconscious. Okay. But yeah, what I see here, Taurus, like I said before, with the majority of this lucky rabbit's foot being in the body and mental health quadrant, and the actual alligator hand touching it from the yes symbol here, is like there's a lot of good luck within the body and mental health sector for July. So if you were having some, not great health in those areas, or someone else was, or just the energy in general, it's like when you come into July, it seems like there's all these blessings around it. I'm going to flip over the strawberry. Okay. So yeah, we got the strawberry there. I wasn't going to start there, but that's where we're going to start now, since I just brought attention to it. The strawberry is about the details of something in the body and mental health quadrant. It's like going over the details. Maybe it's not all the way really touching, but it's so close to the lucky rabbit's foot. So it could be saying here, Taurus, that there's something, with a lot of luck around the details in your body and mental health here. So again, if there was past stuff that wasn't as good in those areas, it's like it's now kind of the energy is changing, or shifting that way. Okay. If we look out here in the other quadrants, where some of the, in the same quadrant, but further out in the mat is what I meant to say, we've got the honeybee, another honeybee here. We've got the Pisces symbol, the twin fish. We've got the coyote claw here, another coyote claw. Okay. We've got the other skull here. We've got your nutmeg here, and we've got a human teeth bone, okay, on the other side. And we got another teeth bone here, and we'll talk about all that little stuff in a little bit. But yeah, it's kind of, showing me here, Taurus, that if there was past energy there was some kind of blockage, or a blockage within the body in particular, since it fell on the body word there, that it could have been more obvious maybe during Pisces season of this year, of last year, or even next year, right? Depending on when you watch this reading, it could be something to do with an actual Pisces, or someone who's got a lot of Pisces in their chart. If it's not that, it's what Pisces energy can represent. So more illusions, or not seeing something clearly within the body and mental health in the past, that could have had something to do with a little bit of masculine energy here. It could also have had something to do with your confidence here, or your personal power, and how you relate in a team situation and individually by yourself when it comes to your body and mental health here as well. Now remember, we started your reading with your first skull here, that was kind of half in relationships and love, and in body and mental. Well, your second skull here, Taurus, is definitely in the body and mental. So this could be something that you've been thinking about for quite some time, or someone else, or multiple people, or your general environment situation. But also here with the human teeth bone and the nutmeg, it's something that you've been chewing over or digesting for quite some time. And how can I make myself more abundant, bringing the things that I want as far as my body and mental health? You could have been thinking about that for quite some time, or someone else was with the energy, okay? There could have also been in the past the cloud here really close to the dog ankle bone, and now we have our snake vertebrae. I kept saying earlier that another one was a vertebrae, but it wasn't. This is the actual vertebrae that represents our support system, our back, right? When we're talking about the vertebrae. So could be here in the recent past, or maybe even still going on a little bit here, Taurus. There's like this cloudy, a little bit hazy energy about maybe who's supporting you, or if you're supporting yourself with your body and mental health stuff. But it does require some type of flexibility here with the support, or who you think the support should come from or is coming from. Something you've been thinking about, or will be continuing to think about with the other human teeth bone here. But there's this really beautiful masculine energy here with a masculine symbol that could have some knowledge for you, okay, about something about your body and mental health. Or it could be someone else has that knowledge for you, or it's an aspect of your masculine energy that has something here. It could have something to do with writing or needing to write. It could have something to do with bringing in more prosperity around this knowledge or this writing. This knowledge and writing and this flexibility within those things could also bring freedom around how you feel nourished in your body and your mental. That is so interesting, right? Because we also see the symbol there for corn, okay, that's sitting on top of these are the I'm losing my words. These are the handcuffs, okay, and they have the word freedom written on it. Let me turn that down. Sorry, guys. Okay, so yeah, I feel like these things, again, this knowledge that comes through from this masculine energy, this flexibility within the support area here, going over those things and thinking about how to bring more nourishment. It could be, both things, right? Because we're in body and mental quadrant. So it could be nourishment for the physical body, and then nourishment also for our mental health area. Okay, so I feel like that's really beautiful here, Taurus. Now, if we go over this way, on the other side of your body and mental, you've got the butterfly, there's the fork, you've got Cupid, you've got a ship anchor, okay? And so it's like there's this beautiful transformation happening during the month of July. Could be started before, could be going after July too, right? This is a general reading meant for multiple people, talking about Taurus energy. But it's transformation around how we, again, the fork is not that far from the corn, right? So it's like there's a transformation around what we're eating, okay, physically, and what we're feeding ourselves mentally, okay? This could also have something to do with relationships and love, because Cupid is actually pointing to your other quadrant that we started with, the relationships and love quadrant. It's also kind of pointing toward the apple, which represents a teacher, mentor, spiritual guide, okay? This Cupid energy, whether it's romantic or platonic, just love energy in general, could really be wanting to help ground you and give you freedom. So we drop our anchor when we want to stay put, if we're on the boat, and we lift it when we need to go, right? So it's like freedom, but also safety here, and trying to find that, okay? So really nice, again, a lot of the rabbit's foot is, kind of mainly in that body and mental. Now there's some other stuff underneath here before we move to the last quadrant. So I'm just going to move the alligator claw here for a second. And what we can see underneath here, Taurus, is we've got the symbol for water here, and we also have the star, and we've got Pegasus, and I think the sun is under Pegasus, but let me, yeah, okay. So I just moved over a little bit, but I don't want to mess everything up. Okay, so here we see Taurus, there's a lot of emotions around finding your happiness and finding your North Star and your freedom around your body and mental health. Okay, there's a lot of emotions, you know, tied to that, but there also is the yes, and there also is this good luck coming in. So it could be like you've been striving for this for a long time, possibly, and you know, who isn't, of course, if you're working on yourself, right? But and it'd be different for everybody, but it's like it's so close, and those emotions and that looking for your North Star and finding the happiness within your body and your mental health, it is, you know, there for the taking, and you're already, you got it, right? It's like it's there. So I really like that for you. Okay, so I'm just gonna move that a little bit over excuse me, the way it was for the most part. Now let's get into your last quadrant here, Taurus. So now we're in the spiritual and unconscious quadrant. Okay, if we pull back a little bit, and you can see here once it focuses, you do have another human teeth bone right here. You got the frog out here, you got the little witch, I could barely see her, and then everything else is kind of you know, pretty much we can see. Okay, so there could be something here, Taurus, where in the past there was some type of, I'll just move this over so you can see a little better. There was some type of leap of faith that either a friend wanted to help you with, or you were helping a friend do this for themselves, that you were really thinking about, or that was like right, you know, underneath in your unconscious in the spiritual realm. And this could have been something that relates to justice. Okay, with the symbol for Libra here, we have Libra energy, so it could be dealing with a Libra or something during Libra season, or just the aspects of what Libra represents: justice, balance, right? This could have been something that had let me stop for a second because I'm trying to get everything out at once. Okay, so Taurus, it's like something you're wishing here for with the turkey wishbone. Okay, it's mostly in spiritual unconscious, but it also goes into body and mental. So something that you have been wishing for, or someone else, or your general environment situation, manifesting this justice and this balance. It could have something to do with physical travel, but not really, because we're in spiritual unconscious. So it could have something to do with astral travel, 5D travel, travel in your dreams, right? I feel like some of you have really wanted to connect with either someone or multiple people that have passed on, or your spirit guides, guardian angels here, because we do have the skeleton claw. Okay, so that's my symbol for the other side. The veil, pass on loved ones, friends, family, etc. Spirit guides. And it was also touching the sun that was in your body and mental, and half in your spiritual unconscious. So it's like you wanting to travel in your dreams and talk to somebody or multiple people, or maybe it's people that you don't even know, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be people that you know that have passed on, but there's a beautiful strength in that, and maybe asking for strength from those people or from those energies, or you know, entities that are showing up in the dream world to help you with what you have been wishing for, that then translates into your body and mental. But there's this huge beautiful Norse symbol of protection, okay, right kind of on the center here, that is covering the spider web. Okay, the spider web is our environment, our spiritual and unconscious environment. Okay, so all this protection, you are spiritually and unconsciously protected here, Taurus. So that's really beautiful. And I love too that the word spiritual unconscious is like outlined by the way the second raccoon penis bone fell here. It's like right in the curved part of the word there. Okay. I also see, you know, a lot of good luck here as well, with this 4-leaf clover over here, Taurus. It was kind of like a little bit half in between work and money, but mostly in the spiritual unconscious. So again, lots of good luck, but I feel that this quadrant, this spiritual unconscious quadrant, is actually the more easier quadrant that maybe we talked about, or it feels lighter in some way. Not that you know, the other ones didn't feel good, but it just feels like easier to describe. Hopefully I'm making sense. Or it's just more straightforward and kind of to the point here. But yeah, that's, you know, pretty much what I have for you. I do also feel like if this past energy with the friend and this leap of faith, it could be that it's a spiritual friend, right? A passed on loved one, okay? Or a friend that is spiritual or helps you with your unconscious. But perhaps there is still some type of leap of faith that felt more in the past, but it could also still, you know, impact the present here. And it's like the frog, the way it was, it's like it's wanting to jump outside of something, not just the mat, but maybe this leap of faith. If it was more past energy here, Taurus, it could be there's still maybe another type of leap of faith that needs to happen presently, okay, or in the near future, around some type of spiritual unconscious. Maybe like make that leap of faith to do the 5D astral dream travel and know that you are spiritually, you know, and unconsciously divinely protected in those things. All right. Well, yeah, that is pretty much what I have here for you, Taurus. I hope that made a little bit of sense. Always feel free to let me know in the comments if you feel guided, but no pressure. All right, so now I'm going to put the camera back up, and then we will go ahead and switch over to Gemini's energy. Okay. All right. Oops, as I drop things. Okay, so switching over to Gemini. Okay, so let me put this. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to throw the Taurus one over. Okay, bye Taurus, thank you. And now Gemini. Okay, let me put the camera down and see what I'm actually doing here. Hold on, guys. Thank you for your patience. Let's see. How did I do this before? It's always a little tricky as I put it back. There we go. No, go down. Wrong way. Stay. Through. Okay. We got it. All right, took a second. Okay, guys. Hey. Okay. So yeah, let's clear all this out, and the camera's still a little wonky. Hold on. Stay. All right. Put all the bones and charms back in here. Clear the energy. Maybe do some more incense before we get into the wonderful Gemini energy. So thank you, Taurus, for your energy. Switch over to Gemini. Yes, yes. Okay. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm glad to be back here after my long, much needed vacation and break that went on a little longer than I realized, but that's all right. It's all divine timing. Okay. Let's make sure we get all the stuff. Okay. maybe we'll put some crystal on the bones and charms too to clear the energy. Yeah. Let's see. This incense holder. Once it's out, the remaining part of the incense gets like kind of stuck in there, but it's all good. Okay. So I like to use sound and intention to clear the previous reading's energy, but also I do the incense or smoke, passing the bones and charms through the smoke if I can get it, yes. So we will do that as well. Just let that chill over there. Let's do our sound bell real quickly. This camera, guys, I wanted it to, there we go, so you can see what's on the board. Okay, let's do our sound bell and then we'll get started here, guys. So this is a moment where we can take a couple of deep breaths if you feel guided. Just listen to the sound bell too. If it gets a little loud, you can turn it down, and just know that it'll just be for a little bit, so it won't be forever. All right, guys. So this is going to be for air sign Gemini for July 2024. Gemini. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing the shuffling or shaking of the bones and charms. It does make a little bit of noise, so something I have to do. So just bear with me, guys. All right. Thank you. Spirits, guide my hands. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Gemini for July. Messages for Gemini for July. What do we need to see? What do we need to know for the highest good? Messages for Gemini. Messages for air sign Gemini, the twins for July 2024. Spirit guide my hands. Messages for air sign Gemini for July 2024. Spirits, guide my hands. Hold on. I'm trying to get closer in this chair. Hitting something. There we go. Okay. Thank you, guys. All right. Thank you for your patience. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for air sign Gemini for July 2024. What do they need to see for the highest vibration? Messages for Gemini. Messages for Gemini, air sign Gemini for July 2024. Messages for Gemini for July 2024. What does Gemini need to see? Messages for Gemini for July 2024. Messages for Gemini. Spirits guide my hands. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for Gemini for July 2024. Messages for Gemini. Messages for Gemini for July 2024. Messages for Gemini. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for Gemini for July 2024. July Gemini 2024. All right. All out. Okay. Thank you guys for your patience. Let's just put this over here. All right. I will take the camera down in a few minutes. So as we get closer to the bones and charms, since they are small, I just want to flip over a couple of them that I can do without disturbing the others. I also will be putting in the timestamps after this live is done for some people, again, who just want either Gemini or Taurus. Very gentle. Stay. Okay. Whatever. I tried to flip it over, it didn't want it to work. That's okay. All right, so most of them are, you know, the right side up. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a picture. I always post the picture after the live is done on my Facebook page. So if some people want to look at it again more up close without having to rewatch the video, then you will see that. Okay. Kept hitting this while I was trying to shake the bones, but put it back now. Okay. So before I take the camera off of where it is and move it down, I do want to place my hands over the bones and charms and kind of see where spirits want me to start your reading here, Gemini. All right, so just bear with me. Spirits, where would you like me to start this reading? Yeah, it's like right here. Okay, so that's going to be in the spirit unconscious quadrant. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of hold one hand there and then take the camera off with the other hand. It's kind of right where the skull is there, so I'll remember. So just give me 1 second here, guys. Maybe at some point when I get all the monies, we will get a second camera. I don't necessarily know how that would help with the live, but we'll figure it out at some point. Okay. So just kind of pulling back and showing you everything here before we zoom in on stuff, okay? But yeah, Gemini, let's see what we have coming up here for you for July. You definitely have, if you can kind of see where these dotted lines are, you're going to have horizontal and vertical, right? But there's a lot of activity. The majority of your reading is all in the spiritual unconscious, okay? And that's again where the energy felt really hot and where it was drawing me. So that's where we're going to start. You have a few things that went outside the mat that can sometimes be more past energy, but we'll see as we go through it. So now I'm going to get closer here, okay? And hopefully, yes, the lighting will be good. And once I stop moving so much, it should focus. All right. But yeah, your skull is, one of your skulls is right here. I'm just going to turn it around for a little bit so you can kind of see it and prop it up. Okay. But where we see skulls, actually both of your skulls here, let me pull back out, sorry. Both of your skulls are in the spiritual unconscious quadrant, okay? So when you see skulls in the bones and charms reading, it can tell you where someone's mind is at or what someone's thinking about, right? So I have two different ones in my little kit that I've created here, but they're both in the spiritual unconscious, okay? So it looks like here, Gemini, you could be, or someone, multiple people, general environment situation, could be thinking a lot about the spiritual unconscious. because that's where the energy is. Okay. I want to kind of start out here in the past, if this is past energy, and then work our way inward more. Okay. Um, but yeah, we have here, in the past, Gemini, there could have been a lot of good luck with the lucky rabbit's foot here in your spiritual unconscious realms, right? So even if you're not religious, but you're spiritual, or even if you're not religious or spiritual, but you're just more trusting your own intuition and your unconscious when you're sleeping kind of energy, that's kind of what we're talking about here. So I feel that in the past here, Gemini, there could have been something that you were wishing for, or someone else, or multiple people, general environment situation around bringing more abundance into your spiritual unconscious with the buckeye here. Something that you or someone else wishing for. This could have also been, hopefully it'll focus in just a second. Let me put my hand out. Sometimes that works. This could have been something that, maybe not. Okay. This flexibility could have been something that was really helping you or someone else in the past bring the pieces together with the puzzle piece here. Bringing all the pieces of the puzzle together, right, in the spiritual unconscious. It could have been also that there was, come on camera, there we go, a lot of questions in the past that led to searching for these spiritual unconscious pieces of the puzzle, and how you can bring in more flexibility and bring more abundance into what you spiritually unconsciously wish for. There could have also been a lot of emphasis in the past on writing here. So we've got the book and we have the letter message document charm. So there could have been a writing about finding your North Star in your spiritual unconscious life. And that's something that you've been thinking about for quite some time, or someone else, or multiple people, general environment situation, and how to feel safe in doing that with the safety pin right here next to one of the human teeth bones. It could be that in the past there was some kind of fogginess or confusion around something related to possibly a passed on loved one, friends, family. It could be angels, spirit guides, guardian angels here with this skeleton hand. Okay, it could have been a masculine passed on energy, or a masculine spiritual energy that was looking for some type of freedom here, to either help you with that, or help others, right, or both. This could have something related to children, okay, with the baby here inside of the raccoon penis bone, so masculine energy. If it's not actual children that are alive, or if they've passed on, if it's not that, it could also be our inner child work, right, and how that relates to our spiritual unconscious quadrant here. But I feel this possibly in the recent past, had a lot of happiness and enlightenment energy around with the sun here as well. Okay. There could have been an aspect here, or still needs to for some of you guys, cutting away some type of gambling energy. Don't gamble in the spirit world, all right? What does that mean, right, with the alligator claw? This is for striving for something. It could also represent gambling and money, right? But it feels like, because it was close to the scissors here, it's like cutting away some type of spiritual gambling, or cutting away trying so hard here, Gemini, to strive for some type of spiritual unconscious. It's like sometimes when we try really hard, it gives us like the opposite effect. So if it isn't spiritual gambling, messing with the spirit world, or taking unnecessary risks in the spiritual unconscious world, then it could be like an over striving. So something about that needs to be cut away here. I do also see in the recent past over on this side, there could have been some type of blockage where something wasn't in balance, okay, in the spiritual unconscious realm, okay, with the yin and yang symbol here. I do feel like you here, Gemini, or depending on where you have Gemini in your chart, if you're not a sun sign, Gemini, because all are welcome. There could also have been, or is currently still, a wish for more Saturn energy. So if we move the wishbone out of the way for a second, we have the symbol for Saturn here. So a wish for more organization or a sterner, stricter energy in our spiritual unconscious. Okay, so that could be like an example. Could be like being more strict with your spiritual energy. Could be praying or doing affirmations or intentions, or it could be actually going to church, whatever church is for you, the forest or actual church. Or it could be, if you're not spiritual or religious, it could be getting more stern or strict in your unconscious or your dreams, or something about your dreams, right? It'd be a little bit different for everybody. But I feel that there is also, I think it was more like pointing that way, this aspect of like chewing over and digesting, how do I have more freedom and peaceful energy in my unconscious? So if we move this a little bit, it's like unconscious word is right there. Sorry, let me go this way, guys. Okay, so one of the human teeth bones was on top of it. We got the pea stubs here. We have the freedom, what is it? Handcuffs there, okay? So it's like wanting to find a peaceful, more freedom type of energy in the unconscious, thinking about that. How do I get that, right? What am I feeding myself spiritually with the fork here? What am I feeding myself and or others unconsciously? If it's not spiritual or religious, just be unconscious, okay? There could have been somebody here that had some type of irresponsibility energy, okay, going on. Now, this could be something that you or someone else is already aware of because it was slightly touching the other skull here. Sorry, let me turn that down. So this irresponsibility energy, it could be, again, spiritual gambling or being irresponsible in the spiritual world or in the religious world or both, or in the unconscious world. It's like not maybe realizing how powerful those aspects can be to our overall life or something. It doesn't necessarily have to be you, Gemini. It could be somebody else or just the energy. But there is a clearing that's going to happen, okay, with that irresponsibility energy. I'm going to move it over just for a little bit, okay? Because what we have underneath it is the spider web. So yeah, like I said in the beginning, majority of your bones and charms are all in this spiritual unconscious quadrant. So it's like this is your spiritual unconscious environment. The spider web represents, and the spider, our environment, okay? So there may be, a masculine friend here with the witch and the masculine symbol, that it goes from spiritual unconscious to then spills over into your body and mental health. But there could be a friend here, whether they're a man or a woman, or they just have a lot of masculine energy, that maybe wants to help you with this here, Gemini, or you're helping someone else here. But this can bring a lot of prosperity and again, a more going with the flow energy. Pisces symbol for Pisces here. So you could be dealing with a Pisces, or something during Pisces season this year, last year, next year, depending on when you watch this. It could have nothing to do with Pisces zodiac or a person or season, but it could just be the general characteristics of Pisces energy, going with the flow. The water here, it's like the water will cleanse you. The water is clearing because with the feather on top of the twin fish here, okay? Now, Gemini, there's also like just again, a whole lot going on in this quadrant. It's like where I'm trying to bring it all together one step at a time, okay? But there is some type of angels, ancestors, guardian angels with the coin here being also in this quadrant, right on the line, that perhaps wants to help you let go of some old stuff. They want you to go with the flow more here. They want you to be strong. We also have the symbol for Leo here, so it could be something to do with a Leo season, Leo aspect, strength, courage, passion, etc. But they could want you to bring that out of yourself and know that you are spiritually and unconsciously strong or protected here. There could also be a lot of good luck around letting go of these old things, and good luck coming in with embracing the emotions here, the symbol for water. It could be healing, going slow with the emotions is very healing, with the turtle here represented right by the water. There could also be with the crown here something to do with going slow with the emotions is going to help us in our confidence, or help us in a leadership type role, perhaps in the spiritual, religious, or unconscious as well. There could also be a teacher. You are a teacher, spiritual teacher, or unconscious teacher, religious teacher here, or that, and or right. It could also be that with the apple here representing a teacher or mentor or spiritual guide, they are helping you with going slow with the emotions. They are helping you with this confidence. They are helping you with this strength. Or you could also have that on one side, and then you're helping others as well. Because I love that the bee here is like touching the apple and then going back to the spider web. So the bee represents our personal power, our innate personal power, our individual power, also our power within a team, right? So the honeybee serves the queen, queen honeybee, but it also is strong in its own right by itself, right? So it's like bringing all these things together here. There's yes, okay? The yes is only in the spiritual and unconscious quadrant here, Gemini, feminine energy on the other side. So it's like yes, something here is a yes, and it's yes, you do have support, okay? You do have spiritual and unconscious support. This is the snake vertebrae that was on top of the yes coin. So yes, yes, Gemini, you do have the spiritual unconscious support very, very strongly. Again, most of it, all kind of fell within that quadrant here, okay? So I feel like this has been on your mind or someone else's mind, but it's like, how are we going to nourish ourselves again with the corn over here? Once it focuses in a second, maybe I'll focus on my hand. There we go. So you've got the corn here and you've got the fork here. So how am I spiritually, religious, and unconsciously what am I feeding myself spiritually, religiously, or religiously, spiritually or unconsciously? Sorry. So I feel like a lot of that has been on your mind or will be on your mind, or someone else is here. But it looks like a lot of good stuff happening. It's like the important work, okay? The shadow work is being done here by somebody or multiple people, general environment situation. So I like that, okay? Now, if we see and go further up, and I'm just going to put this back where this was right on top there. If we see that some of these aspects here spill over from the spiritual unconscious to now the body and mental quadrant here, Gemini, okay? And if we focus on that, what we see out here is your nutmeg, okay? So it could be that in the past, here, Gemini, there could have been some challenges that were in the body and the mental health area that maybe made your abundance feel further away, or made your abundance feel smaller, okay, in the recent past. There could have also been this, again, either spiritual, unconscious, irresponsibility energy, either person or energy in general, that was connected to this masculine energy. Somebody was not seeing something clearly here with the cat's eye. Somebody was perhaps not seeing something clearly as far as this double masculine energy. So you got the masculine symbol here, then you have the other raccoon penis bone here. So it's like somebody in this masculine energy wasn't seeing something clearly about how they manifest their goals and dreams within their body and mental health. Symbol for Sagittarius could be dealing with a Sagittarius, have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart, something to do with Sagittarius season, or has nothing to do with Sagittarius, and it's just our goals and our dreams for our body and mental health. So maybe somebody was too heavy-handed or is still being too heavy-handed here, Gemini, and there's something that they're not seeing, but it's almost like there needs to be this feminine energy coming in here. It's like this feminine energy, this seashell was like wanting or was already touching the cat's eye. Okay, if we flip this over and it was a big shell, we could put it up to our ear and listen. So it represents feminine energy, but it also represents listening. Okay, so it could be that your body, because this is all following on the mat where there's a little human kind of looking like they're meditating symbol. Okay, so if there's something within the body, feels more about the body here, could be a little bit mental health too, but that's different up there. This part down here is all in the body. So listening to the body, listening to the stomach, the heart, something to do with perhaps the legs, the arms. And then over here, it's like, again, too heavy-handed in the mental health section. Okay, too much masculine energy going over the details or needing to going over the details. Maybe the masculine energy is a stereotype. We all have masculine and feminine inside of us. Maybe it's a stereotype was moving too fast or not going over the details. Be different for everybody. I do feel like there is here, Gemini, maybe too much emotions and water with the cup up here and the ship here, affecting the body. Okay, so if we're talking about Gemini, right, air sign energy, if there's too much emotions in the body, not enough water or too much water, drinking water, right, something, or needing to be in water, what do? We need to bring in the other elements. So where's the earth energy? Where's the fire energy, right? So because so far we're just talking about Gemini being air sign and then all this water energy here, okay? So I do see, actually, now that I look, there is a little earth here, okay? Come back in this way. We got the symbol for Capricorn here. So we finally have some earth, okay? And it's technically right in the center of your mat here, Gemini. So it's still in the quadrants just for body and mental, though, if we followed where the lines would still be going horizontal, vertically. So there is some earth energy here, which I like, okay? But it could be like throughout the month of July here, Gemini, you've already been thinking about, or someone has already been thinking about putting in more effort in the body and mental health area, okay? Because the more that we try to balance all the things, right, then they all connect eventually, right? So if we follow this second raccoon penis bone here from the body and mental, then it leads us into relationships and love, whether it's platonic or romantic relationships, all forms of love, okay? So if we follow that masculine energy and striving within the body and mental, this is going to affect all of our relationships as well, right? And look how simple and clear-cut your relationship sector is here, Gemini, right? I like it. So we've got the listening bells here and the key right on the heart on the mat. So it could be listening for answers about something to do with love, the way we accept love, give love, all those things. There's a lot of healing and clearing going on here with family. Okay, we got the seahorse, that's my symbol for family. So family, love, okay? There could be some clearing around striving for family, or clearing away something to do with striving for family. There's the human teeth bone and the raccoon claw there. So it's like so interesting the way they all kind of form in a line there. I don't feel like I've seen that in a while. So, yeah, maybe it's like expectations in relationships and love, like family love. And what's family, right? It can be our blood family, it can be our tribe family, whatever family is for you. Um, or getting rid of those stereotypes. But again, there's a lot of healing here too, with the lizard still in the relationships and love quadrant. It's wanting to come all the way out, okay? And it's kind of also very slightly touching the coffin here. So it's like there could be passed on loved ones, friends, family, since we're talking about that with the seahorse. Family, ancestral healing, wanting to come out in the love, clearing away something here we're striving for, really thinking about. All right. So it's deep, even though it's simple, if that makes sense, Gemini. All right. So if we follow that into this other quadrant here, we pull back a little bit. We've got the lizard, the coffin. We've got the bat, and on top of the bat is the dragonfly. Okay, and so those were also touching our angel coin that we talked about earlier, and now we're in your work and money sector. Okay, so it looks like here, excuse me, Gemini, lots of talking, lots of incense. There is the vibrations of your dreams that is not just your dreams, but someone else's, passed on loved ones, friends, family, and spirit guides, guardian angels, etc. Okay, with the coffin here, the vibrations of that in relation to their collective dreams within the family or astral family or ancestral family, your angels, guardian angels, it's like all bringing this healing that is going to affect your money and your value as well. Okay, so there's like this need for taking a deep breath here. Okay, so here we have the snake rib bone. So if there was constricted energy around aspects of money and being valued and work, there needs to be more breath here. There's a striving for that with the animal claw here, and the coyote penis bone could be a little bit of masculine energy over there as well. So the coyote penis bone falls on the work word here on the mat. So masculine energy, maybe manifesting in the 3D physical world, putting more aggressive energy into work and doing that, but also, remembering to breathe and not getting too aggressive or too set in stone or too rigid here. Okay. Now, if we go down this way, Gemini, we also have the bike, okay, is down here. We've got the money bags here. We've got the horseshoe and the ladybug. We've got some of the scissors on this side. We've got the ship anchor. We've got symbol for Libra underneath it. We've got the ideas symbol. Oops. Here we got the frog. We got the elephant. We've got the honeybee. We've got the mermaid, the chair, the rope, another seashell. So let's bring this all kind of together here. So Gemini, I feel that there could be a sacrifice that needs to be made here in work and money sector that has something to do with sacrificing some type of freedom or sacrificing some type of travel or vacation here. Okay, with the scissors, like half in spiritual and conscious and half in your work and money, sitting on top of the ship anchor. Okay, I feel like in the past here, Gemini, there could have been travel that brought in some value or money that felt like it had some good luck with it in the past, but I feel like in the past, or maybe still going on a little bit here, it's taking too long with the rope here, right by your chair. So a symbol chair is a symbol for home, okay, wherever you live, right? So maybe taking too long to listen for this feminine energy to show up in the 3D physical world as it relates to money and work. It was taking too long before. I'm hearing it was also maybe affecting you trusting yourself, okay, with your work and your money in the past and your value. Because we have the hummingbird here, so maybe you weren't valuing yourself enough, or someone else wasn't valuing excuse me, you, if with your money, with your work here in the recent past. There's still a little bit going on here, but I do feel like balance is coming in, and the way that the balance is going to come in here, Gemini, is that Libra energy. So it could be dealing with a Libra or during Libra season, or just the characteristics of Libra: balance, justice, humanitarian. Bringing things into balance is what is needed and what is going to bring in these new ideas with the lightning bolt underneath. Excuse me, guys, I left my water in the other room. And so there is some type of leap of faith that needs to happen here, Gemini. Could be during the month of July or even further beyond that. This leap of faith is something that you have been striving for. You might have forgot it, but it'll, some kind of new ideas, a new balance with these ideas will come in and remind you of this. And it will remind you of these past memories here with the elephant. Past memories of your self-worth, how you see yourself, about how you're being valued, about how much money you make or how much money you're giving out, etc. This is something you've been longing for, and it's going to come up again. It's like, make a leap of faith. Bring in these new ideas. Bring in this balance. I like it. Okay? That's what I'm getting here for you. All right, Gemini. So hopefully some of that made sense. Always feel free to, let's pull back for a second here. Let me know in the comments down below if you feel guided. I'm also going to post the timestamps later and the picture a little later. But thank you guys so much, as always, for your time and your energy, and for your shares and likes here on Facebook and YouTube or wherever else I put the video later. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and then Spirit and I, the spirits and I, that's when I say we, and my dogs and cats, we'll be back in a little bit, and we'll continue on with Cancer and Leo. All right, guys, see you later. Bye.